guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about some of our favourite health and beauty supplements. So we got a few questions after our most recent What I Eat in a Day video asking about the supplements that we talked through briefly at breakfast. So we thought we'd make a full video and leave links and a little bit more information about the supplements that we like.
So a full disclaimer before we start this video. So before you start taking any kinds of supplements, you're always better off to talk to an experienced naturopath or a nutritionist or dietitian about what you're really lacking in.
Obviously don't take these as prescriptive advice that you should go and take all of these supplements. They're probably things that you could look into and take to your either naturopath or functional medicine practitioner and ask about whether they would be right for you.
And the other thing is that before taking supplements, we always believe that it's better to try and get all your nutrition from your food. So even though we do like to supplement here and there, even a lot of these supplements I probably wouldn't be taking every day. It'd be like every now and then.
We've included some supplements which are actually whole food based.
Yeah.
So they're not all pills and things, they're food based, I guess, supplements that you can add to your diet. But of course, yes, we look for our nutrition from our food first. But in some cases you do need a little bit of help. Okay, we'll get started with food-based supplements. So absolutely, I think, fundamental part of our routine, which really has transformed our health and beauty, in particular my skin, is fermented foods. So I've got a couple here for you. I've spoken about this one before. It's the coconut kefir. Kefir is a very potent probiotic, so it's full of really thriving beneficial bacteria. So you have to go slow when you start with kefir. You can either use a coconut kefir, like this one, or you could also use a dairy-based kefir or even a goat's milk kefir. The reason I use coconut is because I'm intolerant to dairy.
You can even do just a plain water one, can't you?
Yeah, so basically to ferment this drink, all they need is a source of sugar and the probiotic. So you can even use, water kefirs, but this one uses the natural sugars in the coconut. So the other one that I have here is obviously the sauerkraut. This is one I got recently. It's called Gutsy Superfood for Every Gut. It is smoked garlic kraut. You can get all different flavors. You can also get a thing called kimchi, which is basically the same thing as sauerkraut, although it's an Asian fermented food, so it's usually more spicy. So it's really tasty to eat as like a little forkful with your meal, and you only need to take it maybe once a day, really. So I take with dinner a little forkful of kraut. And the same goes with starting slow, because if you have any just imbalances in your gut, it may cause you some distress to start really high on these types of foods.
Yeah. I'll also say that if you're having some gut troubles, I would probably opt for the sauerkraut that is more plain. So a lot of people kind of react to things like onions and garlic, those really strong, like FODMAP rich foods. So if you find that you react to those foods, I would recommend starting with a fairly plain one, just to see how you go.
Also, when you buy a sauerkraut or kimchi, you want to look for a unpasteurised and raw, and preferably also a wild ferment. So that basically means that what they do is they ferment the cabbage with whatever wild bacteria are present on that cabbage, and they don't use a starter culture.
That's so cool.
And don't worry, they won't.
Natural than that.
And you don't need to worry that it's going to have harmful bacteria on that cabbage, because the pH at which the fermentation occurs, there is no known, well, this is what I've heard, there is no known pathogenic bacteria that can survive and proliferate at that pH.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So if you get a different wild blend each time, you should be really diversifying your gut, and that will really help your immune system and your skin and everything to function better, because your gut's so much healthier.
So just to make it like 100% clear, you're buying the sauerkraut that's in the fridge, not the one that's on the shelf.
Yeah, no canned or preserved.
It's not going to give you the same benefits.
Yeah.
So the next supplement that we're going to talk about is cod liver oil, so specifically the one by Green Pastures, which is quite popular in the paleo community. So cod liver oil is a great source of vitamin A, D, and your essential fatty acids, so DHA and EPA. And this one in particular is combined with butter oil, so it also gives you some K2. So we've spoken about it before as well, the importance of vitamin A, D and K2 all together as kind of like a complete package. It's great for bone health and skin, all those
immune
kind of
health.
things.
So I would really recommend, if you struggle with skin issues, to have a look into cod liver oil, especially if you have really dry skin or you have eczema or psoriasis or even the keratosis pilaris, if it's related to a vitamin A deficiency, which I have heard for some people is the trigger. So if you could try supplementing with a cod liver oil.
So on that topic of vitamin A, so we've spoken about this as well before, that the vitamin A that you find in plant foods, which is more commonly beta carotene, is not the same as like a preformed vitamin A.
So a lot of people say that they get their vitamin A from eating a lot of like sweet potatoes and things that have got the beta carotene in it, so the fruits and veggies.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's kind of a bit deceptive. So if you're eating something with vitamin A in it that's preformed, that's a great way to go, especially if your gut is not really absorbing very well.
Because in this form it's very bioavailable.
Yeah.
Whereas the beta carotene, everyone converts to the actual active or usable form of vitamin A at a different rate. So you could be the type of person that eats a lot of fruit and vegetables, but it just doesn't give you enough vitamin A.
Yeah.
So there you go. Quickly, just as well about omega-3, so from fish oil. So you could also try if you're having issues with skin. So you want to pick a good quality fish oil, so from wild caught fish, and also it's just very good for inflammation. So you could look into that and speak to your naturopath if they would recommend you using fish oil, especially for skins. Okay, and so our last more food-y based supplements, which we wouldn't consider to be specific like vitamin tablets or anything. But these are in a tablet form. These are digestive enzymes. So I have just a blend of digestive enzymes here, and I also have HCl and pepsin in this container. So what these are really good for is just really helping your digestive system to work properly. If you have any kind of gut dysfunction, which is really, really common, if you get bloating or you get bad skin breakouts or rashes or acne, even if you struggle with like fatigue or different...
Well, all diseases stemming from the gut.
All of these diseases that are, or even just symptoms that are stemming from the gut can really be helped by a digestive enzyme. That's not to say that you should be on it forever, but if you do know that you have some gut issues, it can really help you to start breaking down your food properly and getting the nutrients that you need from your food.
Because it's really interesting though, just kind of the role that the gut has, and when stomach acid is out of balance, how that really changes the environment, because that has to go through to the small intestine. When the pH there isn't correct, then we have dysbiosis. It usually is beginning though with that low stomach acid.
Yeah, and I'll say personally, when I had bad skin with eczema, I was also getting cracks on my mouth because I was low in B vitamins, and now the problem wasn't really that I needed to take a B vitamin like I did for a little while to help in the short term. The problem was that my gut simply wasn't breaking down my food, and also that the gut bacteria were not operating properly and forming those vitamins, because that's where they're actually created, by your gut bacteria. So it's really essential to actually get that gut working, breaking things down, getting to the right pH so that your body can get the nutrients it needs and then heal the gut. It's sort of like a chicken and egg thing. So if you're looking to break the cycle, this is like a really key part of gut healing. And it can't hurt anyway.
Although HCl does sound scary for people, they're like, oh, it's acid, but it's in a tablet form, it'll be okay.
Your gut is an acid environment that's meant to
contain all of these reactions. So the next supplement that we're going to be talking about is magnesium. So you've probably heard us bang on about this as well. So magnesium is quite low in all the food that we eat today because of our modern farming methods. The soil is depleted of magnesium, so therefore our food is lower in it.
So normally you'd be finding magnesium in like darkly coloured leaves and vegetables, and also avocados. Yeah. But it is hard to get your actual needs met by food these days. So you might want to consider supplementing with magnesium. Again, not something that you have to do, I think, every day, but kind of
you know, when you need
If
it.
and when you need it, especially if you're stressed, because your body really burns through magnesium if you're stressed. Like if you've ever had a stressful period and then your eyelid starts twitching, that is often either electrolyte imbalance or your magnesium is low.
Also, if you're getting like cramping in your legs, waking up in the night. Yeah, I was going to say that, but I don't know if people get what that means.
People know.
Okay. And then I would recommend that you take magnesium at night as well, because it can make you a little bit sleepy. It's kind of a little bit of a sedating mineral.
It's also really good if you work out a lot, because you lose your minerals and magnesium through your sweat.
And magnesium is so important in the body. I think we were saying, is it 600 reactions? Over 600 reactions in your body. So you don't want to be low in magnesium.
And you can also get it in a liquid form and put it on your skin because it can be absorbed through the skin.
Like transdermal.
So if you get really sore muscles after the gym, it's really nice to apply it on your legs and leave it sit for half an hour, and it helps with muscle fatigue. So
and you can also get magnesium in like higher doses, usually when it's in the powder form. So you can put it in a drink and drink it. That's another way that you can take it.
And it should be chelated. So you're looking for a chelated form of magnesium, which basically is anything that ends with 8 in the word. So it'll be like magnesium malate or magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate. Don't go for oxide, because oxide is more difficult to absorb. So any of the chelated forms with the 8 at the end will be easier to absorb.
So the next vitamin we're talking about is vitamin D3. So vitamin D is obviously so important. It's free as well if you've got to go outside, but these days a lot of people have jobs where they're inside all day. It's hard for them to go out and get vitamin D. So you might want to consider supplementing.
It's worth getting your levels checked as well for vitamin D.
It's surprising a lot of people are low.
Because you want to be in a good range, but you don't want to overdo it either. Because I think there are some studies suggesting that it can be dangerous to overdo your vitamin D. But you'd probably be surprised to find if you got tested you may be a little low. I was a bit low.
I was low. Well, vitamin D is important for so many things, to the extent really that it's being considered a hormone in the body, having so many actions. In particular, it's good for building strong bones. So when you're having that Ka-D combination,
so much more important than just focusing on calcium alone. It's like a full...
Okay, so our last supplement is vitamin K2, and so we have one here that's just it's a full K vitamin, so it's got vitamin K1 and K2. So we also have this one over here, which is a vitamin D and K2 supplement. So this is a liquid, isn't it? This is one you take.
Yeah, you just take a couple of drops on a spoon. So that's a good option to look into if you want to take your D and K2 together. Although you can get that with taking the cod liver oil. So there are different options for taking it together. But because D and K2 work together as fat-soluble vitamins, it's probably ideal to take them together or from the whole food form, like the cod liver oil.
So just make sure that when you're buying this, you are getting one with K2 in it, not just K1, because K1 is less important here than K2. The other thing to mention about this is that K2 is really great for like heart health, because it's about shuttling calcium to where it's supposed to be. So when people have things like heart attacks, that's a buildup of calcium inside the artery. But we want the calcium to be going, you know, to our bones. So it's really calcium being misplaced in the body. So K2 can be helpful with. Alright guys, well that wraps up this video. So those are some of our favourite supplements and food-based supplements at the moment. So leave us a comment below letting us know what you want to see from us, if there's any video ideas that you have that you'd like to see.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It makes our channel more visible to more people. And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye. Today we're going to talk about 5 benefits of meditation and also how we meditate.